Okay, 1851, good luck. So we've not played before, we have no head-to-head score. Opponent has nearly 15,000 games of rapid chess. That's a lot of rapid chess. That's the Reti opening when you see this position. So we're going to play b4. We're just going to try and develop our bishop and challenge the pawn. So he goes a6. What's he trying to do with that? I'm not quite sure. Just hit the pawn. I'm not familiar with that move in this position, but it's been played. Okay, so we can obviously push on here. We can just guard the pawn. He wants to play here. That's what he wants to do. So I'm just going to push the pawn on. Kick the knight and try and win this pawn. And then we need to develop and try and castle. But a little bit unusual how he's played this. Let's hit the knight. I'm not familiar with this line that he's played, but he's played it really quickly as though he's familiar with it. So he's gone back. So I'm going to take with the knight and then maybe just aim to drop back. That's just a temporary pawn. We're not going to really try and keep it. So just drop back and down. We'll just drop back across again. Let's stick to the Reti principle and try and castle if we can. d3 is obviously a decent move. Knight up here could be. Here, if he takes, we can take back, but it weakens b4. We could go here and try and guard and not worry about the bishop here. Does it matter? Let's play it, because it's not an uncommon pawn structure in this opening. It's not uncommon to see this. If he advances, we get a nice square for the knight. But he's trading it. Take here, here. Is there a nasty move? I don't see it. And you can only play what you see, so I'm going to take and go here after all. Once we've castled, we'll be more relaxed. We can then worry about how to play the game. If we've got a temporary pawn, it's a temporary pawn. And that's it. We've now castled. So now we can come up with a plan. See, that's unusual moves he's done there as well. Unusual play. Unusual. So do I do this and then this? That's an idea I'm looking at. I think just knight development is probably fine here. We might just give this pawn back just to get developed. We could take this way, but I'll just let him take here and get developed. A little bit unusual play our opponent's come up with, but he's come up with it quickly. So it seems a little bit odd. Just develop our queen. Then at some point we can push our pawn on, so let's do that now. Then we'll try and target this outer pawn. If he takes, we can go either way. Does it matter? I'm going to go with the knight to challenge here. So we've got a nice potential square here. I assume he's going to castle, but maybe we can just grab the pawn if he does. So he pushes up. Now we can check pros and cons. If you block with a queen, we can take the pawn. And I don't see a downside. Knight in stops him castling. So we can go in and hit the queen and hit the pawn, right? So is that more dangerous? Here, where does his queen go? If we can take, can we definitely get back? It looks like it. But here, maybe he can throw a check in. Maybe that's the move. He throws a check in. So I'm just going to check and try and collect the pawn. Yeah, here I think he threw a check in. So he's gone there now. So I'll collect. So he's now castled. So is bishop up a move? I think it runs into this. But then, yeah, we can't take, can we? So that's not a move. So the bishop is slightly vulnerable. So where do we go? I'm going to drop back and pin the knight. I'd like to go here, but it walks into this. He's done it anywhere. Done that in any event. Now here is a move. Because there's no check, but there could be a check coming. I'm going to go here, but I've got to be really careful to keep my king on a light square. Otherwise, a discovery and we lose our queen. Yeah, what is this? He's played this really, really odd. I'm getting some unusual moves here. Let's throw in a check and maybe come here or drop back. Yeah, no, this is really odd how he's played this. But if he takes, I can take with a check and take back. He has done that, so it's got to be right to take, right? Then take with a G pawn. Then try and keep this somewhere safe. Actually, let's activate the rook with a check first and then decide where to go. I'm going to go here just to cover this knight move. I said he played an awful lot of games, didn't he? A 7-year-old account, 50,000 games. Let's put the bishop around the back and see what he does. Okay, so now I think we want the king up. Then what do we do with this? Do we just sack this pawn? That feels like a good plan. He's gone back, so if he wants to do this and trade everything, I think that should be good for us. So here, everything trades, king here, we can push up. It feels good, it feels like a good plan, but we could always trade the bishop for knight and keep the rook on the board and try and push here. So here now, pawn down I assume. So here, okay, I'm going to bring the rook here and actually look to go here, because knight here I'm very happy to trade the bishop. I'm going to try and just push the pawn, and I think he's going to counter though. Well, he's locked it, so now I go here then, right? But do I go here first? I think I do. I think I go here first to try and stop this. He'll have to move and the rook can guard. But I'm not convinced I can actually win this one. He's played this quite unusually and quite at a pace. Come all the way around the back. I could do with something like this, I just don't see how to actually do it without endless checks. Maybe rook here. But I need this back pawn up before this one. Say this, this and this, something like that. Okay. So here could be a move now. Takes, takes, that could be nice, but how do I guarantee to support the pawn? I don't see that. Let's go here and hit the pawn. Now, if he goes here, then I've got bishop upright. Is he going wrong now? There's no knight check, so bishop up is definitely a move. And if he has to guard, we're going to at least trade the bishop for knight. That should help us. With this pawn structure, that should help us. So that's got to be a good trade. It's just whether we trade here. So we end up here. Then you want to get a position where you push and then you push. So can we do that? It feels like we should. He's not going to break through here in a hurry, is he? So here, forward here. And he has to give ground, and we just push, he comes back. Here, takes, takes. It's got to be good for us, it's got to be. As long as I can stop him infiltrating, he's not going to push here in a hurry. And we just march and march, I think. I've just got to be careful that I'm not missing a trick, because I could have obviously been. But we want to try and push here and create these pawns, this structure. If he takes, we take. If he doesn't, we just get a passed pawn. So I presume I just push here, but I'm okay to advance my king first. If he pushes, we just take with a check. So again, I'm safe to go here, aren't I? If he takes, I just take back. If he pushes, hold on, gotta work that out. Takes, takes. If he pushes, I take here. If he comes forward, I'm definitely able to push and he can't take this pawn. So this is a playable move, and if he goes here, I come back. I've got 4 minutes on the clock, that's what the time's there for to use it. So if he does that, I'm fine to take, it's protected, and I'm in his half of the board, so he can't easily stop it. Now we just try and drive the king away and eventually push on and just come across to take risk out. But if he goes here, we need to take this way, not allow a passed pawn. So I think we just want to come in here. Here he goes here. We could just simply march. So here, down, check, down, we just push up. Takes here, say across, and we queen easily, so that's winning. So here, here, here. Yeah, it's easily winning. Just push the pawn, don't overcomplicate it. Push again, and here or here, depending on what he does. try and play simple chess if you can, do as much as you can, but you're still going to try and calculate it all out. So here now, if he goes here, here, and here, he can push and then it's going to be a stalemate. So the best way to play it is to try and come across and just push and eliminate these pawns and hope I've calculated it correctly. He's got to go here. Take, take, he goes back up. He has to move or here, then up, back. Actually, am I not winning that? Have I miscalculated here? I'm going to try and use a bit of time. It might be a draw this. I might have miscalculated it. Here, here, across. He has to push and I can take. And it's just a draw, right? Because his king can't move. So no, I can't play that. So I'm going to hope he goes here. He should go here. And he's got the draw. He's got the draw. Well done. Let's see what it was in engine language. I didn't actually realise it was a threefold on that move. But I don't think I could win that. I think it was a draw. They're the move times for both players. Let's request analysis. But he played a very unusual opening there. I'm a bit sceptical about this one. I will review it more carefully off camera. We'll just do the normal review here. I am actually completely winning. It is actually a forced win. And I've just repeated because I didn't realise it was actually a threefold repetition. Apparently that's actually a checkmate in 5. Oh, if he pushes, you just run the pawn up. I can see it now. I can see it now. But yeah, the way he played the opening, it's not a line I'm familiar with, but he played it very well. So it's a little bit unusual. I just didn't calculate it correctly there, did I? I've played it well enough. Here, here, here. He has to push. But you don't have to take and give him a repetition. You just go up. He can take. You go up. You can push. And it's checkmate. So yeah, it should have been an easy win there. Should have been an easy win. So well done to our opponent for getting a draw. Okay, so it's 82 versus 78 on the accuracy, and we've just blundered there, messing up the ending. But yeah, he's played an unusual line in the opening here with a6. A little bit unusual. It is a alright move, but it's not something you tend to come across very often. But you can see we're already building up a nice grudge advantage, so at least we weren't worse in the game. Engine prefers to take with the bishop there over the knight, that's fair enough. And it should have indeed pushed forward there. So we played a half decent game. We've just gone wrong in the ending, not calculating it correctly. Should have played knight across here instead of developing here. And then we're just about level. So we can whiz through and whiz through here. There's not much to look at really. Well, I should have actually played knight in here. I should have done that, but I was looking at the queen check. That's what he would have done. And then we just block with f3. But he can't castle through the knight and we still hit the pawn. That's what I should have done, so it was a good move. Okay. And then here, I should have actually taken the pawn instead of dropping back. Should have grabbed the free pawn while I can. So it's been an okay game. I've played it pretty decently. I've just messed up at the ending, not calculating it. So these trades were all good, and I'm completely winning. So I've played it all really well. I should have actually pushed the pawn there. And then I've just got that permanent protected passed pawn and then run the king around it. Eventually you'll have to concede ground. So I should have done that there. This is still completely winning. I just hadn't realised that we'd repeated the position twice in this position here. Which is why I've blundered there in allowing the threefold repetition. I was trying to give him a chance to blunder by stepping forward instead of on the light square to gain the opposition, and then I could step in this way. That's what I was trying to do, but it is what it is. Well done.